Buddy, it's me again, Russ Shaw. There's the great Rainier Valley. High five over there. Just driving along, doing another dash cam session. Yeah, that was a cop. Did you see that? The police officer coming my way, so I had to, I don't know. Just like, what is he doing? Maybe that's illegal. I don't know. Figured I'd put the phone down. How you doing? I missed you. Another session behind the podium with yours truly, Russ Shaw. Yes, yeah, I know. Anyway, why behind the podium? Why am I driving in these videos? Why? I've addressed that before, but I don't know. I'll address it again. I drive a lot, right? That's my job. I'm pizza frickin' guy. I have a catering service business of my own. I'm a sales rep, basically. I move pizza in volume, so I go to big places and move lots of pizza. And that's where I'm on my way to now, is a industrial park there in the Rainier Valley. Anyway, getting that out of the way. Also, I do my best thinking while I'm driving, and I also have the phone, my Android phone, which I'm recording this video on, is where I get my email. So some listeners will send email to the show. I react to it right here. Like, what? Like that, you know? No, I'm not like that, right? I'm not reading your email, freaking out. You can't surprise me. I've been doing this for, what, going on 6 years now, you know? I mean, not a lot I haven't heard or seen or read about or listened to or talked with people about. So you're not going to surprise me with your email. It's just, I don't know. Some of my reactions come out of a surprise in how people think about stuff on a heart level. You know, there's just so much of this behavior modification. Well, you just need some new information, and we're just going to plug in some new stuff into your brain and give you some more info, and you're going to put that to action, and then you're going to have all of your problems resolved, right? How are we doing with that, all right? I mean, there's tons of information. We got plenty of information, but not a lot of application to that information. You know, the why is bigger than the just info to plug in for the what, you know. The info is important, I'll give you that. It is important, but if you don't have the motivation to pull it off, then what are you doing? So I got an email. I talked to a guy about, Anonymous, Sexaholics Anonymous. I like the 12-step thing. I think it's good to be in an SA group. I think that's fine for a while. There's just something about the anonymous part that bugs me a little. As a Christian, the guy I was talking to is a Christian guy, goes to a church. He's in a Bible study at the church. He's engaged with the church. But he's not talking about real heart level stuff with the people in his Bible study, you know? I mean, this is why I have such a hard time with religion, and I talk about that so much. Religion bugs the crap out of me because it's not, first of all, Jesus was murdered by religious people. He's murdered by sinners who, we're all sinful. We all are the scoffers. We're all in the crowd, right? But the religious people who have all their little rules, and you have to measure up to my so-called level of looking mature on the outside in order to hang with me. I don't know. This weird conformity towards superficial religion really bugs me. Today, it's 2012, all right? I mean, people joke about sexual addiction on network television sitcoms, you know? Like, name a guy who's not addicted to porn. Do we really have to have this stigma of anonymous when it comes to being in our community, in your church, with your guys, even with your gals in the Bible study? You know, do we? I mean, and that's my question, and that's what I want to kind of interject into your heart a little is, why be so anonymous? Why can't you bring this up at Bible study? Why can't you talk about this with the people in your church that you're doing life with? Okay? You should be able to bring this up. You should be able to talk about habits and desires and sexuality and how, right? I mean, my pastor just wrote a book, pastor of a big church here in Seattle, wrote a book. It became a New York Times bestseller called Real Marriage, and he does a lot of talking about sex in that book. He talks about porn in that book. It's important to talk about that for Christians. I mean, come on, people, please. Get off of your, I gotta be anonymous, I gotta keep this in secret. I know it's embarrassing, all right? But you need to humble yourself. You need to talk about this, in your group, or your people, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be broadcast the whole church, unless you choose to do that. That's not a bad idea either. Helps other people. But again, if you don't, you just want to keep this with your peeps, you should be able to do that. If you're not in a church where people are open and you know that people are fake and you know that the doctrine is like that, then find another church, all right? But at least give the people that you're in community with now give them a chance, right, to talk about this stuff. Now, over here, SA groups, I'm gonna touch on that and go back to that. Yeah, it's cool to be in an SA group when you're first starting out, because they're going to give you steps and things to do. They're going to give you actual things to do, and then they'll challenge your heart in why you do or do not do them, or how you do them, or why you wouldn't want to do them. There's a lot of great kind of group therapy I'll use in SA groups starting out, and you're in the sexual compulsive stage of this thing. It's not a bad idea to be in an SA group. I was never in an SA group. I'd never been to a group like that. I'd been in 12-step groups for alcoholism, drug addiction, but I'd never been in an SA group. I'll talk about that later, but anyway, to stay on point, it's not entirely healthy to stay around people, even weekly. You're going every week, you're going twice a week, whatever. It's not healthy to be around people like that for a long period of time. I don't necessarily agree that if you're once an addict, you're always an addict either. That's just not necessarily true. You can be addicted to one thing and then jump to another addiction. Does that mean you're an addict? I don't know. I guess. But coming in and saying, I'm an addict, my name's Russ and I'm an addict, I don't see that as healthy. Sorry, that's just where I'm at. I'm an ex-sex addict. I'm not a sex addict anymore. I was a sex addict, I'm not anymore. That's healthy. That's a good thing to say. Again, your social group. And there's a lot of research on this. There's a lot of research just in the last 15 years. Really good research on conformity, social pressure, sociology. You become who you hang around with. And yeah, it's good to have like-minded people in recovery who are working their way out of a situation, but it's also good to be around people who have never been sexually addicted. It's good to be around healthy people who have their own struggles with other things and are cracking open the Bible, for example, to talk about how they're repenting of their own sins, right? When we get off ourselves and we focus on Jesus, it becomes less about us and more about Jesus. We can be honest and open about the fact that we're human and stop being freaking religious. Get your eyes off yourself and put them on Him and talk about how He's helping you, how He has helped you, how He's set you free, how He's setting you free, how He's showing you, waking you up to new life. All right? He's woke me up to a lot of new life, man. I used to be a total mess disaster, and I'm alive. I'm glad I'm alive. I'm grateful that I get to go into this company and bring these people this hot, fresh, gooey, yummy pizza, because pizza's delicious. It's awesome. And, I'm just grateful I have a job. I'm grateful to be alive. And it is that way because I'm not anonymous, and I'm around some pretty wonderful, awesome people. I really am. That's what I got to say. Later.